Welcome to AnimeFan Narrations, Solo Leveling Episode 45.
The tension between the two was as intense as the rivalry among the reporters. Baek Yoonho looked annoyed for a moment, but soon sighed and replied,
In any case, both our guilds owe that man a debt.
We were incredibly lucky yesterday. If he hadn't been there, my second elite team would have been wiped out completely.
Though both men were fully aware of who they were talking about, neither mentioned his name, a final gesture in their silent rivalry. Choi Jongin took a step closer.
Which is why, as a matter of principle, I'm determined to bring him into our guild.
Baek Yoonho stood his ground. The two of them moved close enough for their foreheads to nearly touch.
We even suffered casualties. Given our need to strengthen our combat team, wouldn't it make more sense for him to join us?
What exactly do you plan to do by adding another rank S to your team? Launch an invasion into North Korea?
And you, since when did principles ever matter to you enough to start lecturing me about them?
Their eyes flared with intensity as they stared each other down. At that moment, Tae-gyu, guildmaster of the Reapers Guild, arrived at the association building, intending to time his appearance with the press conference. Spotting the two of them nearly at each other's throats, he couldn't help but smirk. Wasn't there an old saying for this situation? Something about counting chickens before they'd hatched? For Tae-gyu, this was entertaining. After all, he'd always been outpaced by these two guilds when it came to gathering resources. Suppressing his urge to grin, he strolled over to them.
Hey, you two guildmasters over there. I hope you're not getting all worked up over my Minsung, right?
Instantly, both Baek Yoonho and Choi Jongin whipped their heads toward him at the exact same moment. It was hard to say who reacted first.
What's this idiot talking about?
Who cares about this Rhee Minsung or Rhee Minsung or whoever?
Tae-gyu took a nervous step back, visibly startled by the two intense glares directed at him.
What's up with these two all of a sudden?
What's this now? Both Choi Jongin and Baek Yoonho are here too?
Rhee Minsung's grin deepened. He was already familiar with Chairman Tae-gyu, having met him when he signed his contract. Choosing to join the Reapers Guild, a guild criticized as a shadow of its former self, over the country's top two guilds was a calculated move on his part.
This way, I look like a guy willing to support the underdog.
To put it bluntly, a celebrity's livelihood depended on their public image, and Rhee Minsung was particularly careful to manage his.
The top guilds in Korea are fighting over me.
He didn't intend to stay in the hunter profession for too long, but seeing this sight filled him with satisfaction. Soon after, his manager entered the reception area.
Minsung, they're ready for you now. Let's go and start the press conference.
All right.
The manager led the way. He opened the glass doors, allowing Rhee Minsung to step out of the association building. Instantly, the rapid-fire clicks of cameras filled the air in a blinding frenzy. Rhee Minsung plastered his usual fake smile across his face as he posed for the hundreds of cameras pointed his way. At that moment, Jinwoo arrived at the entrance of the association. As planned, he was stopping by the association 3 days after his initial visit.
Why is there so much commotion here?
But with the current crowd, it didn't look like he'd be able to enter easily. Of course, he had options. He could use stealth, leap over the crowd, or find a side entrance. However, he had booked his reevaluation 3 days in advance, and he wasn't about to sneak in through the back just to avoid a bunch of reporters.
It's not as if I've done anything wrong.
With no reason to avoid the main entrance, Jinwoo started to part the wall of reporters, making a path for himself.
I'm coming through.
Oi, what's with you?
Hey, watch it!
Are you kidding me?
This was the strength of a rank S hunter. The reporters were pushed aside, clearly frustrated, and Jinwoo soon had a clear path up the steps to the front entrance. Before he could take another step, however, a large, burly man blocked his way.
Hey!
It was Rhee Minsung's manager, who glared at him with a raised eyebrow, his voice dripping with hostility.
Who do you think you are? Do you work for the association?
Jinwoo met his glare directly, shaking his head slightly.
Who does this guy think he is?
The manager's thick eyebrows twitched in irritation.
Can't you see all those reporters back there?
Jinwoo cast a quick look at the reporters, who were all glaring at him with clear disapproval. He could see they were trying to hold a press conference, but it wasn't as if they'd rented out the entire front entrance, was it? By common sense, no private individual had the right to force the reporters to leave, nor could they force him away. Plenty of people were watching, and Jinwoo didn't feel the need to cause a scene, so he decided to just ignore this man and walk on by. But then...
Get back to where you came from. You're not coming through here. Scram, punk!
The manager blocked Jinwoo's path once again, even going so far as to try and shove him backward. The look in Jinwoo's eyes changed instantly.
Whoa, what was that?
The manager was completely taken aback. As a melee-type rank D awakened, he had intended to push this guy back hard enough to embarrass him, but Jinwoo didn't budge an inch, as if he were rooted to the spot. The force he used would have easily hurt an ordinary person, and Jinwoo knew that all too well. That's why he stared silently, his gaze alone enough to drain the color from the manager's face.
What's going on? What's up with that guy?
Are they about to fight?
The reporters sensed the tension in the air, and the crowd quickly grew noisier. Cold sweat beaded on the manager's forehead. If not for all the eyes watching, he might have stepped aside by now. But with reporters and his boss, Rhee Minsung, watching him closely, he had to hold his ground. Rhee Minsung stepped closer, frowning, and whispered to the manager.
Come on, Hyung, what's the holdup? Just get rid of this guy already.
Yes, of course.
If he messed up now, he'd definitely lose his job. The manager's face twisted with determination, and he raised his voice.
You can't come through here, so get out of the way already.
And who said you have the right to block the entrance?
Huh?
The voice didn't come from in front of him, but from behind. The manager spun around quickly. There stood the association president, Go Gunhee, in front of the glass doors. The reporters' eyes widened in shock. Many even forgot to snap their photos.
President Go Gunhee?
Is that really President Go Gunhee?
The previously chaotic scene quieted instantly with the arrival of this unexpected figure. Go Gunhee walked calmly up the steps and spoke.
This gentleman is my guest.
He then directed his gaze at Rhee Minsung.
I trust you remember who granted you permission to hold a press conference here, Mr. Rhee Minsung?
Rhee Minsung quickly regained his composure.
Oh, of course, sir.
On his very first day as a hunter, Rhee Minsung couldn't afford to fall out of favor with the association president or lose the press conference location, especially in front of so many people. He frowned and motioned to his manager, who promptly bowed to both Go Gunhee and Jinwoo before stepping aside.
Please come with me, Hunter Sung Jinwoo.
Even as Jinwoo entered the association building with Go Gunhee leading the way, the crowd of reporters looked on in utter confusion.
What was that all about?
Who was that guy, and why is the association president personally welcoming him?
Does anyone here know who that man is?
The reporters raised their voices in frustration, but no one had any answers for them.
Solo Leveling, Chapter 93.
Rhee Minsung's face grew tense. A mysterious man had pushed through the crowd of reporters, and now the association president, Go Gunhee, had come out in person to escort him into the building.
What does President Go Gunhee's schedule look like for the rest of today?
I heard he cleared his entire morning.
Are you saying that the association president canceled all his morning appointments for this man?
The scene had become too chaotic for a press conference, with the unexpected entry of those two drawing too much attention. Yet, how much time and effort had Rhee Minsung invested in organizing today's event? He shot his manager a look of utter frustration, like he was swallowing something bitter.
This useless manager couldn't even handle a simple task.
His manager avoided his gaze and looked down, powerless. Now that Rhee Minsung was a rank A awakened, the manager couldn't even match his physical strength. He could only stand there, cowering. Rhee Minsung's intense glare lingered on his manager before he instinctively turned his head to the side. To make things worse, the camera crews from the news stations were already packing up to leave. They were supposed to cover the entire event live. If this chaotic scene aired across the country, all of Rhee Minsung's work to boost his brand by becoming a rank A hunter would be ruined. But the presence of Go Gunhee, the association president, had disrupted the situation too much to calm things down and continue the press conference. Why did someone so influential have to appear at such a critical moment?
Isn't there any way to salvage this?
Rhee Minsung's mind began to work quickly.
Right, only something major could shift the spotlight back to me.
The reporters weren't here just to hear about his thoughts on the rank assignment test. They had come to discover what ranking the top star Rhee Minsung would receive as a hunter, and what his future plans would be once he got his license. If he gave them what they wanted, things would settle down again.
I should begin the assignment test early.
A sly grin appeared on Rhee Minsung's face. He prided himself on his quick thinking, a skill those around him often acknowledged.
Excuse me, everyone. I'm going to have a quick word with the association's representatives about my schedule.
After saying this to the reporters, Rhee Minsung headed toward the main building. He wasn't planning to discuss any changes. He intended to announce them.
Do they even realize how much my father donates to the association? Whether it's the association or anyone else, they should be bending over backward for me.
However, just as he was about to push open the glass doors, hunters from the monitoring division suddenly exited the building, causing him to step back as they formed a line to block the entrance.
What's going on here?
Rhee Minsung's brow furrowed. He glanced down at one of the name tags.
Section Chief Woo Jinchul, Hunters Association Monitoring Division.
He immediately questioned Woo Jinchul.
What's the meaning of this? Why are you blocking the entrance?
Woo Jinchul, eyes hidden behind his sunglasses, stared down at him.
Currently, another Awakened is undergoing a rank reevaluation. Until 11 o'clock, when the test is scheduled to conclude, no one will be allowed inside.
What did you just say?
By another awakened, was he referring to that young man who had gone inside with the association president a short while ago? Rhee Minsung checked his watch. It was 10:30 a.m., and his own rank assignment was scheduled for 11. And now no one could enter until then? His plan to begin the test early to steal back the spotlight was quickly unraveling. He started with a polite tone.
Please don't do this. Let me in. I have something to discuss with the appropriate department of the association.
I'm sorry.
Woo Jin-cheol gave a single curt response, then fell silent. As frustration began to boil over, Rhee Minsung lost his composure, revealing his true nature.
Thanks for watching Solo Leveling on AnimeFan Narrations. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for updates. Share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.